Well, howdy folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, making another video for you out of Boise, Idaho. You're probably wondering what the heck I'm doing with some of these tools here. Somebody just jumped up on this beautiful Easter Sunday and requested if I could make a video kind of explaining plastic connectors, all the electrical connectors and whatnot on a vehicle and how to take them apart. And they also asked if I could explain all the different types. So I'm going to try to do that for you. Now, taking apart plastic connectors, as you can see here, I've got an old wire harness that I pulled out of the junk pile. Taking apart these plastic connectors to a certain extent without breaking them is truly an art. And here's an example of ones that like to break. Like, for example, on this distributor, on this coil pack, you can see here, get some focus for you, you can see here that this one is broken. You see that? But this side isn't. Okay, I broke that. So I'm showing you this basically to kind of just let you know that they are going to break. So to a certain extent, sometimes there's nothing you can do about these plastic connectors. They are going to break. So if they do break on you, don't get too upset. Just go ahead and buy another one. And if you need to change it, then what you do is you cut it down here. You know, I'd say like right about there. Just go ahead and cut that one off and just go buy a new connector and solder it back in. So first off, if you do break your plastic connectors, don't fret. It happens to the best of us. However, there are some precautions you can take and some things you can do to lower the chance of the plastic connector breaking. I got some kiddos running around real quick, so I'm going to pause it and see what they want, and then I'll be right back and I'll show you the tools that I use to take plastic connectors apart. Alright, and I'm back. So just to kind of recap, we're taking apart plastic electrical connectors and whatnot. And so there are some precautions and some things you can do that will kind of lower the chance of breaking them. But bottom line is plastic connectors like to break. It just happens. But a good set of mechanics picks, 90-degree angle ones, hooks, straight, even larger ones like so. Some of these can become your best friend when it comes to taking apart plastic electrical connections without breaking them. Other tools are your mini screwdrivers, your flatheads, because you can stick them inside of the plastic electrical connector where the clip is and lift the clip up and pull it apart and all that other good stuff. So let me see if I can kind of demonstrate how you can do this. So I've got an old, let's see, this is a coolant temperature sensor, okay? Now, what I would probably normally do if I was changing this coolant temperature sensor is I'd go ahead and I'd use my large pick and I'd pull the clip out as if it were on the car. Okay, that clip went flying, and that's actually kind of good that you could see that, because whether this was on the car or not, that's one of the things you got to watch out for. So these little clips and plastic connectors and stuff sometimes like to come off real fast. So then I would probably go ahead and remove the sensor, okay? And the reason why I would do that is because now I have all this room with the lead that we have here to move this around. And now this is if it was on the vehicle. Now everything else stays put, and I can move this around, and then I can go ahead and work with it. Now this type of connector, you push down and then pull to get out, okay? And it's got a little nipple right there that catches on right here, okay? Now, let's say you're having a problem with this because there's dirt and grime built up underneath there. This is where, on this type of connector, your screwdriver could come in handy, because bottom line is you need to get this to push down to clear inside of here. Now, as you can see, there's another point right here that you can get to it at instead of having to go here. So this is where you could take your little screwdriver That one's too big. And stick it inside of there. Oh, there we go, we almost had it. And then take it apart, okay? You could also take your little screwdriver and go in from here and kind of wedge it in there. And take it apart like that. All right, so you can press it down, take it apart. You could take a little screwdriver and go in from here and take it apart, or you could stick it inside of there and kind of pry it down and take it apart. Now this method, sometimes you can get this unclipped, but let's say there's dirt and grime buildup in this area and it doesn't want to come apart. If you notice the pry method with going through here. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you that little deal. Alright, and so that'll help you get a stubborn one apart. Now let's, hey baby, do you want to say hi?
Yeah.
Alright, sorry about that, guys.
Hi.
Say hi, guys. Alright, now let's find a different connector and see if we can play with that one and work with that one. Alright, so now what we're looking at here is we're looking at a fuel rail, okay, with a fuel injector and a plug. Now as you can see on this fuel rail, I also have a part right here that's kind of in the way. And so what I would probably do in a situation like this, because taking apart plastic connectors off of fuel injectors can be really tricky, and it's real easy to break them, especially when they're set up where they have connections on both sides and then one right here. And so the first thing that you really need to do is have patience. Don't try to rush this at all. Your level of profession doesn't matter about how fast you are. What matters is whether or not you can get the job done right the first time without any major setbacks or anything like that. That's what really matters. So for this one, I would probably go ahead and remove the fuel rail, leaving the fuel injector inside of the intake, and that way I've got all the room that I need to work. Now we've got another clip on the fuel rail that we need to work with in order to do that. So at this point, this fuel rail is still on here, and we have this metal clip that we need to remove so we can get the fuel injector out. Okay, and you can kind of see how that metal clip works, and you can see where the indentation is, where it catches. This is an area where, again, your flathead screwdriver is going to be the best bet, or you could get away with a straight pick. You need something to get down in there so you can work and wiggle it out, okay? And you just have to take your time and be patient. Now, it may help in a situation like this to go ahead and stick your little flathead in there to the point that you know, okay, it's moving, we've got it out, and then go ahead and take maybe your 90-degree angle pick and then go like that. Hold on, kiddo, I'm busy. And then get that in there and just pry it until you get it past the point. And as you can see, didn't necessarily go the way I wanted it to go the first time. And that's just how this cookie crisp crumbles, guys. And so you may have to try 2 or 3 different times, and you may even have to try a few different angles in order to get that off of there. And you may also have to use both hands. Get both hands down in there to get a clip out. So, like I said, that's not going to be too easy to get out. So I'm going to pause it real quick. I'm going to get this clip off. Also see what these kiddos want again. Okay, so now that we have this fuel injector out and apart, if it's still on the car, you have the lead here, and you can move it around and work with it. So this one, you're just going to grab both ends and work it out. But again, let's say you can't do that. So then your best friends are going to be your picks. And you just got to find the sweet spot. Be patient, find the sweet spot, and you'll be able to get these plastic pieces apart. Now, there's some plastic clips that will have a clip that you have to remove, and what you'll see is you'll see the plastic connector, and then you'll see this little red clip like that. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your pick in there and pop that clip out and then pull it out. So there you go, folks. There's a couple different ways to get these plastic connectors apart. Mechanics picks, little screwdrivers, they're your best friends. Patience is really gonna pay off. Don't try to rush it, just keep working with it. If you get frustrated with it, quit, go have a cigarette, go drink a beer, and just try it again. Sometimes I spend all day taking plastic connectors apart. So, all right, folks, well, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for checking out my channel. Don't forget to stop by and check out a t-shirt. This is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, wishing you a happy Easter. I am signing off.